Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Lost her manhood when Calvin Ridley decided to bet on NFL games last season. He is out for the entire season. Matt Ryan is gone in Atlanta. So Atlanta Falcons really needed to nail this draft to even have a chance to even win 7 games to match what they did last season. Last year, they did go 7-10. So Wyatt, how did they do in this year's draft?
I thought this was the best draft in the division. I thought Atlanta did a incredible job. They had 8 total picks. And with their first pick, they got who I thought was the best wide receiver in the draft in Drake London. He's like 6'5" and 220 pounds and runs a sub 4.5 4.40. He's just a freak. He's a go-get-it guy. He just throw it up in the air. I mean, just think about it. A lot of people, for some reason, weren't really latching onto him like they should have. I thought he was a top 5 pick. I really did. I thought he's that caliber of an athlete because USC was horrible last year, and I mean absolutely horrible. And he was the only offensive playmaker that they had that was, worth a half of a biscuit. And so defenses were completely scheming against him. I mean, completely keying on him. He was double covered every single game, and he was still putting up freak numbers. I mean, he still put up, I don't even know how many receiving yards. It was over 1,000 receiving yards and was double covered all year, and was like the entire defense was keying on him the entire year, and he still was putting up crazy numbers. So I thought he was the best wide receiver in the draft, and I really didn't think that, unless if other guys fell to perfect places, I didn't really think that there was another wide receiver in this draft that was even close to being the caliber of Drake London. So right off the bat, at pick number 8, that's huge for them. They got a guy. They are going to have just him and Kyle Pitts alone. I'm excited about. I'm excited to watch Kyle Pitts and Drake London work together and see this Atlanta offense for this year. While I don't think that they're going to be, some spectacular team and all this, that I don't even know if they win, 8 games. I think that this offense is going to be really exciting. I think it's going to be an exciting offense to watch. And they're going to give good teams a really hard time a lot. I don't know if they'll win all those games, but they're going to be the team this year that everybody's like, man, Atlanta was in, 12 out of their 17 games. They lost 8 of those and only won 4 of them that were close, but they were in them. This is what this team's going to look like for this year coming up. And I think their draft said that as well. And in the second round, I cannot say his name. Arnold Ebikete. I don't know how to say his name. Anyway, he was an edge at Penn State, a great edge at Penn State for that. And I think he's going to make a huge impact for them on the defensive side of the ball, as well as Troy Anderson, linebacker out of Montana State. So another big impact guy. Now we look at the third round, and this is where it got really exciting for me. Desmond Ridder, I thought, was a second-round guy, possibly late first-round guy, and they snagged him in the third round. And he was the second quarterback off the board, too. He went before Malik Willis did. So that right there kind of surprised me a little bit, but I will say I think that Desmond Ridder fits their system better than Malik Willis does. I think that I will say, while I thought Malik Willis was a better quarterback than all the quarterbacks in this draft, I still think Desmond Ridder is going to fit with Atlanta better than Malik or Kenny Pickett would have, or Matt Corral, whoever they could have taken. So I really do think them getting Ridder was the best case scenario for them, and them snagging him in the second round at pick 74 was huge. And if you listen to that phone call, the guy's a winner. I mean, he turned the whole program around at Cincinnati. Go look at the tape. Go look at the stats. He simply is a baller. He's a great football player who is going to have, I think, a good NFL career. It depends on, obviously, how everything works out there. I think I think the Falcons have to give Marcus Mariota a shot first. But if Mariota fumbles the bag and he can't run the team, a team with a lot of options and some decent protection now, if he can't do anything with that, then it'll be Ridder's turn. And I think Ridder does take it and run with it. I think Ridder's a great quarterback. And I think he's going to do some really cool things for them. Next, they have D'Angelo Malone, edge out of Western Kentucky. Just again, another edge piece they added to this team. This defense needed a lot of work, and I think they gave it a lot of work. They did a lot of really good things for this defense. In round 5, they got Tyler Allgeier, running back. This is just because in the last couple of years they've been really fidgety with the running back position. They haven't been able to kind of hold down a guy and figure it out. So once again, just another guy they're throwing into the mix, trying to give some touches. We'll probably see him this year a little bit run the ball. I would be pretty surprised if we didn't see him at all this year. But now I don't know if he's an RB1 or anything like that, but I do think he'll get some reps this year, and I think he could possibly become an RB1 down the road. In their round 6, they just, once again, this is just the depth rounds, and that's what they did. They got depth for the offensive line, something they needed, and they got depth at the tight end position, something that they needed, and they got John Fitzpatrick, a guy who can do universally everything. Kyle Pitts was arguably what a lot of people could say is the best prospect in last year's draft, and he's an incredible receiving tight end, and he's a good blocking tight end, but I don't think he's as good as John will be for this offense as for blocking. So once again, I'm excited to see how John fits in this offense. I think that he can add some new assets to the running side. You can throw him on the edge there, and he could block for you as well. So overall, I think that the Falcons really just did a great job. I thought that they were a top 5 draft in the league, not just number 1 in this division. I thought they were top 5 in the league for drafts. And with that being said, their top pick, as much as I want to go with Drake London because he's awesome and I think he's, possibly going to be the best wide receiver in this draft class,
right?
I can't. It was going to be him until their 3rd round pick of Desmond Ridder. When they snagged Ridder in the 3rd round, that was pretty huge because that is a possible 1st round guy.
Right.
A lot of people just didn't really have the respect for this quarterback class this year, and it really surprised me. A lot of NFL scouts just weren't feeling this quarterback class this year, and I was pretty confused by that, honestly. And I think that a lot of guys are going to come into the league and have chips on their shoulder now because of that, and they're going to prove them wrong. And I think that Ridder is possibly one of those guys. So yeah, with that being said, Ridder is my best pick for them, and my overall draft grade for them is simply an A.
An A, simply an A. Yeah. So
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.